Hello everyone, I'm Dan Elzer. Welcome to Zap-TV. Check me out, I'm in a lab coat, man. The reason I'm in a lab coat is today we're doing Mythbusters, man. We're taking the Mythbusters theme to Zap. Before I get into that though, and welcome my co-host, I want to make sure everybody knows how to use the system. The phone number down there is 321-300-7759 is the text number for you to be able to communicate with us through today's show. So get that into your phone, 321-300-7759, and make sure that you reach out to us, ask questions, give comment, so we can answer specifically what you're thinking about. And today's program is really, really cool, following that Mythbuster theme. So I want to quickly get my co-host and Zap expert, Wayne Weaver, in here to join me. And what in the world do you have? I mean, you got fire and measuring and...
Aren't we blowing stuff up?
No. Give me that, you crazy man. No. This is not, we're not blowing things up.
I thought we were going to have some fire.
Yeah, well, you thought wrong, okay? We're busting myths about Zap, not blowing stuff up.
Okay, all right.
Gosh.
Well, I could do that as well.
Okay. Well, anyway, today's show is going to be pretty cool. There's some myths running around out there that are costing people time and money.
Correct.
And we're going to attack each one of them, invite you guys to reach out, talk to us, challenge us, and let's see if we can't put those to bed to where people can get better use of Zap. How's that?
Sounds good.
But before we get into the first myth, you've got an update on some Zap things that are pretty cool.
Yeah, so just a quick update on a couple things that that we've been asking for as agents, and just really helpful for us just to have us in better contact. So first one is being able to CC on listing alerts. So we set up a listing alert for someone in our system. Two ways we could do it now is we can add the husband and then add the wife, have them both get the emails. Huge advantage is we can add ourselves as well, so we kind of know what they're getting. So I'm going to show you real quick in the system, what that looks like, how easy it is to set that up. So I'm just going to go live, buddy. And if I just simply, just pull up, a contact in my database, bring up the profile, very simple. If this person is on a listing alert, I can check it out and see, who's getting this listing alert, and then I can add additional folks to it. So I just hit campaigns, and it just scrolls down, and just under the campaigns, you will see that there is a new listing alert there. And you'll see that, Wayne's original email that we added is there, and then also there's a CC email. So that's how easy it is. So if I go back up to, the very top, and just check out which email, so you'll see that both emails are there. So let's just say I want to add a second email. So this, obviously this is the wife's email. So, so I'm just going to do, I'm going to add a quick email. Now, now Mindy's email is in there. And if I just scroll back down to where the listing alert is, and I want to add Mindy so she's getting that as well, if I hit this pencil on the right-hand side, I can choose which emails I want to be CC'd on. So I'm going to add Mindy, save it, and you will see now that 3 different emails are all getting that listing alert. And the key is that if I want to receive it as the agent, you will see that I'm actually blind copied on it. So if that's toggled off, I am not receiving it. If I just simply toggle this on, Al will get a copy of the listing alert that is being sent to Wayne, his buyer contact, client. So those are 2 awesome updates that we can that now we can do, so that we make sure that we're kind of another tool that Zap is doing to keep us connected to our database, our contacts and clients.
Awesome.
And then real quick, while I'll go back live and just show you the search page. So we redesigned the search page. Just want to make sure that you guys know or have peeked at it. We made it more user friendly for either us setting it up for our clients, or for the client to they'll see the same search. So if I just go and sign in as a contact, you will see that if I just hit this more filters, so this is basically the search, the search options I have, you will see that we changed it, we made it just more user friendly. The advanced searches are more definable and easy to see. They're not just little words at the bottom, so I can search by any of those things, again, myself or my contact just on my database. So just wanted to make sure you guys took a peek at that. I love the max search, that we can actually just tweak that and make it 41,500 to 92,500 and get away from the 25 to 50 grand. So just another option. So keep an eye on this page, because this is going to continue to change for us. So and they're working hard to just continue to make it user friendly for us.
Awesome.
So yeah, just wanted to quick show you those two updates. And then we'll have a few more things to talk about in the mailbag, but those two updates kind of, things that we've been asking for as agents, and just kind of makes our life easier, but yet makes our clients' lives easier as well.
Awesome. Okay, so there's an update. I know people have been asking for some of this stuff for a while. They are paying attention.
Absolutely.
You were just out there in Emeryville.
Yeah.
I mean, they're excited about working and making sure that they're helping the folks out.
Yes, absolutely. Working for us.
Awesome. Okay, so here we go. Myth busting.
Let's go.
Okay, our first
No
myth.
fire, but let's go.
I know. It's down there
Yeah.
if you want to do it. First myth, and this one I know we hear a lot. Zap leads are horrible. So,
Yes.
what I want to do is I want to kind of explore these. It's not just Zap leads. We hear from agents about leads being horrible, but the fact that it's being applied to Zap, how did that start to happen in your mind? How did that myth get running?
Well, when Zap, when we got Zap and said, and they said, here it is, the leads just started coming through, and they're Zap leads. So what we're actually seeing is that we're getting more leads. So more leads than we used to. So now it's like all these leads are coming in. And really, our mindset as an agent is that if I get a lead, if you reach out to me, whether it's on the phone or whatever, you reach out to me, I'm expecting you to go look at houses tomorrow, to list your house tomorrow. That's just my mindset. Is if I get a lead, I'm expecting or wanting them to just be ready to go. So that's kind of the key.
So, if that person's not ready to go, and we all understand that some bad leads come through. There are bad leads.
Yes.
So some bad leads come through, or some horrible leads, if we could stick with the thing. Some horrible leads come through. It's become, I think, driving this myth that if an agent gets a bad lead, works it to no end, it doesn't work, if that happens once or twice, or if they miswork it, we just start to label everything that comes through that system a bad lead.
Bad lead.
Is that a fair enough?
Yes.
Now, we know, we've shared this in earlier shows, that there's a lot of science put into what is the incubation period of someone who actually buys a home. Now, this isn't just people looky-loo, kicking tires. They watched people from start to actually finish line where a commission was paid. And that time frame is pretty significant, right?
Yeah, it's pretty scary.
I think we got that. I think we got the.
We'll look at a slide. It's
there. Let's bring that full screen. So, how long are we looking here that people that actually purchased a home first engaged before?
Yeah. So this is NAR average. First of all, across the country. Again, not folks that they were just like, I'm looking for a while. I'm going to look for a year, and then I'll be serious. These are legitimate people that just started a process, just reached out in some way, and then we followed them, or NAR did, from start to finish. Like, hey, how much time did it take through? So the average, 16.7 months.
Okay, so we got 16.7 months where someone engaged in real estate activity and then ended up buying a house.
Yeah.
So we've got all these little things. We've got online search, research, alerts, open houses they start to do, and then we get into that middle section and it's contact an agent, right? So then we get to the active buying
the
part,
close,
and
yeah.
they buy. So is it fair to say this then, that every lead that comes through, not every lead, the majority of the leads that come through our efforts in Zap are going to fall on this 16.1 month
Correct, or we should expect them to be. They may not end up being there, but we should expect them to be somewhere in that time frame.
Okay, so how do the leads, go ahead and bring it back to us, buddy, thank you. How do the leads get to them? I mean, I kind of know, but I want you, what are the methodologies that I as an agent end up with a lead?
So,
From Zap.
yeah. So, the phone rings and the broker.
So the phone rings, and what do I get there?
The broker hands me a lead.
Okay, so that's going to give me...
Yeah, they've collected an online lead, and the broker, hands it to us.
So I get the call saying, here's a lead, do I want it? And it provides me with information.
Correct.
Okay,
yeah.
What's another one?
What we're seeing more often is the power of Zap, the power of my website, the power of my mobile app, the marketing I can do with Zap with insights and reviews. More leads are finding me directly. So they're actually just reaching out to me.
And that comes to you in?
An email or text if they're ready to do something. But, really, I'll get that email that basically says, hey, John just came into your system. And of course, I would naturally go, where'd you come from? Oh, he was on my website, found my app. Oh, he, saw an insight I did, that type of thing. So a number of ways they're coming in, but more of them are coming in to our agents that are using Zap directly, not through the system.
Okay, so I'm going to throw some technique out there. If what you're telling me is the myth is driven by people getting a lead or a few leads, they're not responding properly, so we lump everybody in, baby out with the bathwater, bad leads, they're horrible. But in reality, they're somewhere on this list more than likely. So here's some technique, folks. I want you to think about this. The use of your human resource, when you put yourself to work, needs to get a return. We talk about that all the time. What I want you to think about is every lead that comes to you, specifically for this myth, for Zap, but every lead that comes to you, I want you to treat it like it's the front of this list, like they're ready to meet with a real estate professional. Now, what does that mean? If you give me a phone number, I'm going to pick up the phone. Ring, ring, I'm going to call Wayne. If Wayne answers, I'm going to say, hey, I've received your information. Be thrilled to get to work with you. For me to best represent you, it begins with an appointment. When can we meet? Do you have time here, or is this better? So I'm going to treat it as if he's ready, willing, and able to go. I want him to tell me he's not. I don't want to decide that. If it comes to me through text or email, or I'm provided an email, I want to reach out with the email and say, again, be thrilled to work with you. For me to represent you properly, it begins with a get-together. What's a good phone number and time that we can set to have a conversation? If my first activities on every single lead is they're real and ready, and they don't respond, now I know they're further back.
Yeah. They're not ready. They're not bad.
Right. But if I do that, I will never lose the person who was ready by assuming it was a bad lead.
Correct.
Now, getting back to Zap, if I reach out, use technique, and it doesn't work, and now I'm like, ooh, they're not responding, or they didn't come back to me, how can I now then use Zap to make that happen?
Yeah, I mean, this is where, personally we would, you realize, like, I realize the same thing, like, third email, third phone call, whatever the situation is, no response. I think the same, I don't think bad lead, I think, oh, you're just not ready. And prior I thought, oh, these people are driving me crazy, but now, with the platform and knowing what it
and
can
the knowledge,
just knowledge of one slide, that tells me that, this person just isn't ready. They can ask a question, they can show them an open house and act like they're not interested, and I think, oh, the heck with you, this person's actually talking to me. But yet I know that those people are potentially on that list and will show up, at my door or on my email or phone, wanting my help.
Right.
It just might be months down the road.
So what am I using in Zap? What are the indicators in Zap for me to be paying attention to? Once I have said, my brain goes, oh, this is a bad lead. Yeah. No, I'm going to put them in Zap, and what am I going to be paying attention to?
So, first thing I'm going to do is make sure they have my app or my website.
Okay.
So that's number one. Because if they're going to look on my website or my app, because I can analyze their Zap score at that point. If they just sitting at home, not responding to an email or a call, but yet they open up my app and look at 5 houses, I'm going to know it.
Zap
so
score.
They're going to get my app. But, then follow-up plan. So instead of me getting bothered every time, I have to update this lead or get some response, instead of that, I'm actually going to create a follow-up plan or use a follow-up plan in the system and let the follow-up plan take over as part of, my contact. So he kind of goes off of my radar, so I don't get annoyed with him. I'm going to let the system take over at that point.
And that's the power of the CRM part of Zap. And I say over and over again, I want my human resource with people that are ready, front of the list. But I want my technology for the people that aren't. But if I look at everybody the same way, if I don't use technique to determine that, then I'm going to run into people that aren't ready. I'm going to get frustrated. I'm going to lose that transaction because I'm going to treat it with the myth that they're all bad.
Correct.
So if I get them in there, I'm watching their score. I get them to my app.
Zap score is key. With the app, website, or follow-up plan emails you're sending, the Zap score takes over and just tells you when they're doing enough for you to reach out to them, in more likely get a response back from them. And when they're looking at houses instead of, they happen to ask about one.
And if you pay attention to this, folks, you can watch that Zap score and see where they're getting into the part where they want to talk to an agent.
Absolutely.
And then if you've got that follow-up plan with some personal touches way down the road, 20%, 10-20% of the follow-up plan is going to require you to do something for 20 minutes, 10 minutes. 80-90% is going to do it for you if you set it up right.
Yes, correct.
So are all Zap leads horrible? We hear it all the time. I got to say no.
No.
As far as that myth goes, guys, knowing what NAR has taught us, knowing how people go through and make those mental changes, every single person's worthy of at least letting Zap watch them.
Yeah, let the system work for you.
So where do you put this myth?
Busted.
Busted.
Right?
We'll call this one busted. It's all on us. We're not making sure that we do things right. If we're not using technique proactively in the front, if we're not vetting people out and using the system the right way, we can get overwhelmed and just say, you know what, these are no good. I'm too busy to deal with it.
Yes.
So myth one, busted. Let's get to myth two. Second myth, this one's interesting too. And it drives, this one drives me crazy. I don't want to add my personal leads to Zap. So before we get into how we got that myth, what leads you're out there in the road almost every day, what leads are they speaking about when they say they don't want to get personal leads into the system?
So anybody that I feel is mine, really, and I'll break it down, but it really, like anybody that I think would use me, as their agent. So past clients, certainly anybody I'm using, working with right now. But then it goes to my entire sphere. My friends, my family, my neighbors, past coworkers, anybody I have in my sphere that I would sort of expect them to use me. They may not even know I sell real estate, but if they expect to use me, then that's what I would call a personal lead.
Okay, so we're talking about those people that I am most close to, that I have a relationship with, that I have, I guess that I'm beyond just that wide out acquaintance.
Yeah.
This is people that I feel a little closer to.
Yeah.
So then how did the myth start if they're worried about putting those people in? What's driving that myth?
Just the fact that people, they just, I mean, it's kind of hard to say. Like they feel two ways. So
two things drive.
Yeah. So
let's go one at a time. What's the first?
Yeah, one of them is, when we do get the lead from the broker, we have to update that lead. So, so the broker gave me the lead. He just simply is sitting back there going, hey, keep me posted on what's happening with this person. Like, I gave it to you. So we think that if I add 500 people I know, that I'm going to have to update them regularly. I'm going to get that email that says, hey, you have to update this person. So I fear when I add 500 people, I'm going to have 500 other people that I have to.
So that's compliance.
Stay in contact. Yeah, compliance.
So we're getting to the compliance
burden.
Right, the burden of compliance that's driven by getting a company-driven lead.
Yep.
So you're hearing that, I don't want to put all my stuff in there, I'm too busy as it is, I don't need to be following up with all these people and be burdened and getting hit with, why am I not doing this? So if that's one of the things driving it, that, okay, I don't want to get burdened, if I put my personal leads in there, is that true? Is the myth true? Am I going to be burdened with compliance and having to do stuff that's going to take me out of the game?
No. So if I add the 500 people in my sphere or from my Gmail or from the MLS, no compliance whatsoever, though, other than what I want to do with that person. So I will never be forced to email, call, update that person if it's an agent, what we very, very clearly call an agent-generated lead. So just important to know that I could have closed a deal that I have a great relationship with this person, but that lead could have started with the broker. So I have to analyze if this person came in from the broker, I'm going to have to stay compliant unless, once I close them, that ends. But the fact is that if I put this person in my system from the start, that's an agent-generated lead, and I will never have to update that.
But you still want to assign it
Absolutely.
and you still want to follow up, and you still want to do all the necessary things.
You want to do a follow-up plan, analyze Zap score, because you never know when your neighbor's thinking
Going back
about,
to myth one.
Yeah.
So, but it's not going to be burdened because, I'm not going to be burdened any more than I choose to be burdened, is what we're saying. Hey, by the way, several people were reaching out and shouting out to us, but you're not telling me who you are. I can't shout back. So make sure, if you're going to shout out, tell us who you are. And also, if you're in a group of people, if there's more than one of you sitting there watching, let us know. Text me, 321-300-7759. Tell me who you are so we can shout back. But also tell me how many people are sitting with you. We'd love to know who's out there. So hi to everyone that shouted, but you got to tell me who you are. I can't tell without it. So, okay. So part one of that myth is burden. And you hear that a lot when you're out there. Look, man, I don't have time. It's already being bothered with the half a dozen or dozen leads that I have to comply with. That you'll only be burdened if you put burden on yourself. It's not going to happen through the compliance rules.
Correct.
What's the second reason that people don't want to do it?
And then it comes down to, if I go and add, all my, personal friends and family, I don't want them to be getting, weird, silly emails from the system, when are you going to buy a house and things like that. Like, I'm a friend of yours. I'm not looking to buy a house, So, they work, so we worry about if we add them, compliance. That's a myth. But now, are they just going to get silly emails? Kind of, when they're no interest in getting are you going to buy a house soon?
So embarrassment. So they might feel that if I put my close personal friends or people that I have a relationship with into the system, they start getting that, clean your gutter, spring cleaning, that stuff. They feel it might be silly. They'll run into those people and they'll kind of say, hey, why did you do that?
Yeah. My email's full enough. I don't need to receive that you're, that I'm not looking to buy a house. So very simple. It's a myth. Nothing gets sent from the system unless we want it to. So that that's where it comes in. That we talked earlier. I do have friends on a follow-up plan. Very simple. They get a couple touch points from me a year. So, and it's more like, hey, remember I'm a real estate agent. If you're bored and want to download my mobile app, check it out. So I'm in touch with them. Not being the old silent agent, secret agent. I'm going to tell everybody I know, hey, I am a real estate agent and I can help all of you. So even my friends are on a file plan, but it's what I've written and sent out, not what the system thinks I should be.
Okay, got some questions coming in. Two Blaines, hey Blaine, and your groups. Also a couple of your questions, someone said, I don't know if this is the right time. Ask the questions. At the end, we have mailbag, and questions that we don't take during the show, we'll take at the end. So please send them in. I keep them. And if you don't hear me answer them immediately, we're going to address those, or as many as possible, at the end of the show.
Absolutely.
So let's go back to this. So we've got two things mostly driving the myth of I don't want my leads in there, and that is it going to put me into compliance rules, and are they going to get non-personalized junk mail and think I'm weird? So
yes,
first one we fixed. That's up to you. You set what you're going to do.
We should, but
we should.
Yep, we need to stay in touch with those folks, but it's on our terms.
Second one kind of falls under the same thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've got our plans, as you said, and you've showed me through the different shows that we've done. Those plans can be an automated touch something that's already in the system, but they can be a personal touch that requires you to do something personally.
Yes.
So would that help alleviate, if I have here's my personal people plus tagging people, I tag my personal people and I make sure those people are on a plan that I'm more proactive in, where my other people are more passive with the system. Is that a solution?
Yes, absolutely. Well, again, we decide, who we put in the system, and then we decide, how we're dealing with them, and that's where you don't want to take anyone for granted. Stay in touch with all of them, but each one can be different, and that's why we can tailor or create follow-up plans for use of just for ourselves.
Cool. Okay, so if we look at this one, and I decide, you know what? And come on, we've got the stats. If you put all your people in, if you take the time on the front end to get people set up as they go in, what's the increase for agents that are doing it consistently?
So using the platform, allowing the platform to help you, close sides, just logging in 11 times a month every other day, close sides up 10%, year after year for the agents that are using the platform.
And
because the platform, the follow plans work. And
does it?
Takes it off your radar, but yet keeps those folks, I always say, right in your pocket, right in your bucket, just waiting for them to yank your coat and say, hey, I'm ready.
My lab coat?
Yeah, my lab coat.
So if I'm ready to throw this myth away, if I'm ready to say I'm going to put all my leads in there, and I got all these leads, how do we get them in? What's the easy way?
So real simple, I'll just spend a second just to show you how easy it is to add contacts. So I'll go live, buddy, and just simply, hit the plus add in the upper right-hand corner, and then just go to new contact, and you'll see, obviously you guys have all seen this, new, individual contact where I can add a few folks. But if I have any sort of spreadsheet from, Gmail, Outlook, from the MLS, I can add all of those folks under the import contact. So I can grab my CSV file and bring in the 100 people here and the 100 people there, and bring all of those folks in and actually start working them like they're all clients that are going to buy a house tomorrow. So my friends and family and past clients are just like, what we talked about before. I have to treat them like they are going to buy a house tomorrow. Because if I don't,
exactly,
how do I know that they're, that I'm not going to miss them, that they're going to forget I was an agent or think that I was too busy? So, but very simple. You can just grab any CSV file. You might have to adjust the, the fields and things, but grab that and I can bulk import, the hundreds or thousands of people that I have elsewhere. So that's how we get people in. And then we're going to take them, essentially one by one, or sort through them. Who are you? How do I know you? What should I do with you?
So again, from a technique perspective, guys, and this is a time-sensitive or time self-management thing. If you would segment your life, I talk about digital prospecting in the morning. If you'd segment your life that you can come back to us, buddy, that you are getting up in the morning and you're going to spend this time blocking time, this time doing this time doing that. If I dumped, let's say I have 300-400 leads in another database or in a file that I've been keeping, and I dump them into my Zap. Something I always want you to remember. If yesterday you weren't managing those 300 people in Zap, you don't have to start managing them there tomorrow. But you can start one at a time and going and hitting each one of them and making sure that you've got the right plans in place, that you're sending out, that they're getting your app, they're getting your website, so you can start to monitor them. I want to shout out Varsha, Patty, Carmen. Hey, good to see you there. And again, we've got Wally. Good to see you. Got a couple questions that we will get to. As I said, we'll answer those questions as we move forward. So if we look at this myth, and we have agents saying, look, I don't want to put my personal leads in. I mean, they can manage their leads. They can import them. They can export them if they wanted to. They can manage them. They can watch them. This isn't something to fear at all.
No. Get them in there. Let the system work them for you or help you and close more deals.
Busted?
Busted.
Okay. Our third myth that we get and that we hear, and this one is another one that I can see why it's out there, but let's break it down, is auto email plans alone increase my business. So basically they're saying, hey, if I just stay passive and do auto emailing and just put everybody in there, put them on auto and wait, I'm going to be rich. So how did this myth get going?
Yeah, so personally, I can remember, sold real estate for about 8 years. I can remember learning, like, how do I stay in, I got 10 people now. Oh, I got 100 people now. As you're going, you're like, how do I stay in touch with these people? Well, prior to Zap, I was told over and over, oh, just put them on a drip campaign. And if they just see your name in their inbox, they'll remember you. And it's like, didn't matter what the email said. I didn't write it. I was just using, so the concept is that auto, as long as they see my name, maybe they open one or two, they'll just remember me. And they'll just automatically call me when they're ready. And
kind of like a billboard. I'm out there, boom,
yeah,
boom.
If it was tomorrow, they'd probably call me. But we're talking about people that are 16 to 24 months out, potentially, or further. Like an email's actually going to just do that alone. Just the fact that I sent one.
So you saying that reminds me of old school. When I first got into business, geographical farming. Go find yourself your 400, 500 homes, start mailing them every month. But the true key to that success back then was mail them every month, something of value, and then go walk the neighborhood, make sure you touch them 4 times a year.
Yeah.
That kind of activity drove a whole bunch of business, but what most 90+% of agents did was they picked a geographical farm and they just mailed it.
Yep.
So their return was
never the knock.
The return was 0.00 something percent. So they could all say, oh, I got a couple deals, but there was 20 deals in there they could have had and they got 2.
Yeah.
So it sounds like what you're saying here is they're treating it in that way. This myth is saying, if I just put people in there, it's going to happen for me. I'm going to be order taking. I'm going to sit back and wait. And in that mindset, we're taking proactivity out of it.
Correct.
So let's say you're my client and I'm just emailing you. If you think about levels of need, folks, read Neil Rackham's book, Spin Selling. It takes you through what people go through mentally to make a purchase of a product or a service. Starts at, I'm perfect, I don't need you. Then a little dissatisfied is where they probably jump on that 16 months. Then I have a need, but I don't go out and ask people to help me. And then I get to the 4th level, which is impulse level, where I decide I have to take action and I take it with the next breathing person. If I incubate you in this passively, what are the chances that I could do everything right, get you to the point of purchase, and then lose you?
Yeah, it's more likely than not, because unless I happen to send the email on the morning you wake up, but if the email was 30 days prior and I'm supposed to email you tomorrow and I haven't done any any reviewing or things like that, any personal touches, I'm not going to know when the morning you wake up and go, I'm ready. I'm just not going to know it. So how would I expect to get you by just sending you an email and not monitoring anything else that the platform offers us?
Okay, so as you explained, in the system, guys, again, if we use the system, there are touch points. Those touch points, you told me there's 3 different to choose from.
Correct.
So when you're setting up a follow-up plan, each one of those automated or non-automated systems, you have to choose what that touch is. And What are those 3?
So we can do an automated email that gets sent out automatically. The system just does it. And our 2 personal touches that kind of force us to be aware is the personal email or a phone call. And those are part of the follow-up plan options.
So whenever I'm doing that, right, I am deciding that 1 month it's auto, 2nd month it's auto, 3rd month it's going to be a personal touch. So if I've done it right, it's going to come to me and say, hey, Wayne Weaver, it's time to do a personal touch.
Correct.
So if I'm not doing that, if I'm staying passive, I'm not staying active, I can think of a few dangers, right?
Yeah.
Again, as they're walking down that process, you're starting to get active. And if I was looking at you, if I had that stopgap where I had to go in and decide what is my personal touch, I'll probably check your score.
Yeah. I'm probably just going to remember you exist.
Right.
The idea is that I want Dan to go off my radar until I need to think about him. And that's where, a personal touch in a follow-up plan and then just, analyzing his app score and you could get to Dan and go, still nothing, and just send the person, just send the email. But the fact is if I just go in auto mode and just forget you totally, I don't ever know when you're ready to do something, but that personal touch, I love it when a name pops up and I just go, oh, Dan, like, okay, well, let me think about you. Let me see if you're doing anything or you're not ready yet or what's the case. Whether it's a current client or a past client, it doesn't matter. Somebody in your database, might be doing something, and the system's just going to slap me in the face and tell me if I look at it.
So if I'm properly set up, I don't fall into that pit of missing out on that movement in your need. I have that reach. I can reach out, do that personal touch. I might make a phone call.
Yeah.
Question, if they have a 0 score and have an open emails, for 60 days, keep them on the auto email. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean,
yep.
so we were talking a little earlier, and I sort of caught Dan off guard, but,
yes.
And I'll bring it up, but,
Well, let me say first, you guys know I'm proactive. I want you to be with people that can take action. So when we were having this conversation, I said, how long do you want me to do this with these people that aren't responding? And he had an amazing response.
So, and I just simply said, what do we push and want to do with our past clients?
Stay in touch. You sell someone a house, you want to get them on a follow-up plan because you want that buyer to become a seller.
Handwritten notes, whatever. How long will we do that?
We're willing.
Typically, if I sold them a house today, I want to stay in touch with them next month. How
5 to 7 years.
So 5 to 7 years I'm willing to hang on to get a potential listing. The guy might live in the house 30 years and never, but we're staying in touch with them to get a potential listing. We have somebody that has come into our system, met us, that, could be fishing around, but could be, or more likely, it's just somewhere on that 16.7 month time frame. So, like, when do I stop? Well, I don't know. I mean, everybody has their own thing, but, if I can allow the system to take that person over, follow-up plan, and then just monitoring Zap score and send a personal email when I have to, I'm likely to grab that person and actually sell them a house or their friends or their family or things like that.
Okay, I had to say, when he hit me with that, I had to say, when he asked, he goes, how long would you stay in touch with a buyer you sold for the potential of a listing? I said, well, 5, 7 years. I said, I'm going to be touching them. And he said, and you don't want to touch someone for 16 months where 3/4 of the effort is done for you.
Yeah, I mean that's.
And guys, that was eye-opening. And you've heard me say in other trainings, use Zap. Zap is your technology to incubate people, but throw in those personal touches, because the worst thing to happen to a real estate professional is to run into an acquaintance that you are following up with for them to say, oh shoot, what? Oh, I forgot, I just bought a house. Yeah. And that's because they came down that path that we showed you, they got to their need, and we weren't there.
Yeah.
We were still passive. So, when it comes to 3, can we succeed relying completely on passive stuff? No. I think the answer is simply no.
No, our consumers changing so much. They expect more than just an auto plan. They expect us to do more for them. And even if it's on their time frame, and whether do we do it or not.
And it doesn't violate my principles of my human resource, because all I'm doing now, I'm putting less effort into my Zap to find out what Wayne's doing once every couple months or 3 months, because he's a cold lead.
Yep.
I'm putting less effort into that than I'm putting into people that I sold a house to yesterday that I'm staying in touch with. Yep. So this myth, guys, I call it busted.
Busted.
I mean, you got to stay active if you're going to succeed, and use the system to make that happen.
Yep. And real quick, we talk about follow-up plans and how to use them and why we should use them. The support button, lower left-hand corner of the screen. Get Zap series. There's a Get Zap series that is all on follow-up plans. Right from start to finish. So there are so many tools we have to actually help us, walk through that follow-up plan option. But use the support to help you do it if you haven't done one or want to tweak one.
Cool. Okay. Mailbag. Got a couple questions here from ERAS.
ERAS, California.
Will Zap be creating a holiday campaign for us to stay in touch with our personal core or circle? at holiday time, email goes out, wish them happy holidays or whatever?
So for me, that's a follow-up plan that I have, that I just created myself, and use it that way. So you could create your own email scripts, very simple, just very simple, or copy and paste something that you've used in the past or whatever, and have an email script that you can just send out, even in a bulk option. So I can grab all of my folks and send them, very simple, either a follow-up plan, or I put a little message as a personal task for December 10th, December 5th, whatever date that says, send holiday email. And I can go grab all of my contacts and just send them happy holidays, stay safe and enjoy the holidays. Whatever I wanted to say.
You just made me think of something. Can I have more than one plan attached to a person?
No, just one per person.
So I can only have one plan. Okay.
Yep. But I can just.
But you can do
I
a specialty.
Send that bulk email, which is how I do it.
Okay.
I just send a bulk email that says, and I only do the bulk. I do it very little, but holidays and Happy New Year is one of the ways I do it. So I'll grab everybody, Happy Holidays, and they've all touched base like I sent them each individually, like I sat down and emailed them individually.
I think that's an awesome thing to do. I just want to share my personal experience. I did Thanksgiving cards too. I got more business from sending out a Thanksgiving card to my circle than anything, because I was alone. They were getting that without getting everybody else's.
Yeah, that's true.
Got another one from Wally, New York. We can send emails through Zap. It would be really great if we could receive them from clients through Zap. Can that be done?
So, as of right now, we have linked Office 365. So if you do use Outlook, you can have a little mailbag, a little mailbox right at the top. We're actually in beta testing for Gmail. So it will literally be, open up your app, open up the desktop, checking Zap scores, doing a few things. Oh, look, let me go check my mail, and actually just click in the upper right-hand corner and check your mail, and actually get those, and all of the transactions at that point. When, let's say I click connect my Gmail, every transaction, even if I just yank my, open up my phone and send an email in Gmail without opening up the app, which, I suggest you use the app, but if I just send one through Gmail, it'll actually still link to that person and be in their history. So pretty cool that we're working towards the, sort of that one-stop shop. So keep an eye out for that, Wally.
You got a couple things you wanted to share with people, some challenges that we're working on. We got about 2.5 minutes.
All right, left. Cool. Yeah, just a couple things. So anybody that's following the Facebook referral link issue, it's all over. We're on Facebook in our group. So just know that Facebook referral was fixed. So we can actually share our personal referrals and know that when someone clicks on it, they're actually coming to us. So I know Molly with Jim Carr, and I don't know if they're on today, but they were, that was an issue for them, but in a lot of people. So just know that was fixed. So just wanted to make sure you guys know you can share that. And then we do have a bug right now with our insights. So we can leave an insight. It'll actually appear on our website, but it's not making it to the national site as far as the property insight. So just keep doing them. The team's working super hard in California to fix the bug. But just keep doing them. They're still helping you. They're still, in that marketing piece. But just know, we know that that's a bug that's being worked on. So I just want to make sure you guys knew those two things.
And you were just out in Emeryville, folks. They care. I mean, you just spent a whole week out there, and they
crazy group. They work so hard for us. So and again, all the way, just down for us agents. So.
Okay, two things. First, this is being recorded, as always. If you want to rewatch it or share it with others, within 48 hours it will be rendered and on the same site that you came to. Second, the text doesn't work. If you're watching this recorded, you can't use the text number. Make sure you join us the next time live. So save the date. Next Zap-TV is February 14th. It'll be 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you're together, signed in, ready to go, and we'll be here to help you with Zap. So with that, folks, thank you so much. For my co-host Wayne, I'm Dan Elzer with Zap-TV, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, guys.